My girlfriend thinks my relationship with my half-sister is unhealthy. I, 28M, had a fight with my girlfriend, Maddie, 28F, because she feels I prioritize my half-sister, Jen, 16F, over her. Maddie feels that any guy would prioritize their partner over their sister, but I am not sure what to do. To give some backstory, my mom passed away when I was 6. My dad was heartbroken, and it took him a while before he started dating again. He eventually met my stepmom, who was a lovely lady, and they had Jen when I was 12 years old. I was an only child until then, and I was overjoyed when Jen was born. I've always been protective of Jen as her older brother. 4 years ago, when Jen was 12, my dad and stepmom passed away in a car accident. Since then, I've moved back to my parents' house and became Jen's legal guardian. We get along really well, but she's currently going through her rebellious teenage phase. I'm fortunate that I work from home and make a good living. My parents left us a large 5-bedroom suburban home, and Jen's college is fully funded by my parents' investments. We both live very comfortably. After moving back to my hometown, I started dating Maddie. We've known each other since high school and have been dating for more than 2 years. Maddie lived with her parents before, and 6 months ago, we decided to take the next step. I asked her to move in with us. Everything was great for the first 3 months, and Maddie and Jen got along well. However, I've noticed increasing tension between them recently. I've assumed a parental role in Jen's life, making sure she gets good grades and stays out of trouble. However, Maddie has started trying to boss Jen around, and Jen doesn't take kindly to that. Jen disregards what Maddie says and tells her to stop trying to be her mom, while Maddie feels she's an adult and should be able to give advice on things. Whenever there's a disagreement, I've told Maddie that she doesn't need to play mom to Jen, just treat her as an equal. Maddie gets angry, accusing me of always siding with Jen, even when she's just trying to do the right thing and protect her. Maddie has always been strong-willed, and I think she feels that living together means she should have more of a say in how things are run in the house, including with Jen. She's expressed that she wants to be more involved because she sees a future with me and also wants to do right by Jen. But Jen sees this as an intrusion, especially since I've been handling everything on my own since our parents died. It reached a point where Maddie said she doesn't feel valued enough and that Jen has a higher priority in my life than she does. I feel that Jen needs me more right now. It took a lot of therapy for Jen to cope with our parents' loss, and she's now thriving academically and socially. I know she needs me more than ever at this stage in her life, and I feel responsible for her. I also love Maddie and see myself marrying her one day. However, for the next 2 years, I need to ensure Jen has everything she needs before she goes to college. I've discussed this with Maddie many times, but she feels that she'll always come second in my life, which she thinks is unfair. She's now accusing me of having an unhealthy relationship with Jen and insists I should prioritize our relationship over Jen. I know Jen is the most important person to me, but I also see Maddie's side of things and understand why she feels this way. I'm really confused about what I should do. Am I wrong because I focus on and defend Jen in front of Maddie to Maddie? How can I convince her that I love her, but I have to do right by my sister until she goes off to college and becomes more independent? Update. Thanks, everyone, for all the thoughtful responses to my previous post. I just wanted to provide an update because I'm so proud of my sister Jen and how maturely she helped me navigate the situation. I wanted to give some context since many people asked about this. When our parents passed away, my dad and stepmom had asked Jen's grandparents, stepmom's parents, to take care of her in their will. The problem was they live in a different state and wanted Jen to move in with them. Jen kept calling me, saying she didn't want to be separated from her friends, but her grandparents were adamant that she go with them. I had just started my job in NYC and was settling in. I asked her grandparents if it would be okay if I moved back home to take care of Jen, and they agreed. I was given legal custody of her. Luckily for us, COVID hit around that time, and I've been able to work remotely since then. Despite the legal documents, I've never treated Jen as my child. She is and always will be my sister. It took her a while to adjust, and I was driving her everywhere and taking care of her. Maddie knew this, and I've had to cancel countless dates with her because something would come up with Jen's school or extracurricular activities. I wasn't happy with Maddie's hurtful comments. I just didn't know how we could all coexist in this house without them fighting. Maddie meant well, but I agree with Jen that it's not her place to act like Jen's mom. I gathered my thoughts and decided to talk to Jen when Maddie was at work. I asked Jen to come to my room, and we talked about her recent fights with Maddie. She told me about every time Maddie had tried to boss her around. Most of it was mundane, like asking her to clean up after herself in kitchen or finish the chores I had assigned to her. She also complained about how Maddie and I sit in the living room in the evening watching TV, and she feels like a third wheel when she wants to come out. I told her I never want her to feel uncomfortable in any way. The house belongs to her as much as it does to me. I said I was considering asking Maddie to move out because Jen was uncomfortable with her living with us. Jen suddenly got very sad and sat next to me. While she appreciated the thought, she didn't want me to do that. She said I've already given up enough for her, and she'd be really sad if I lose Maddie because of her. She told me not to ask Maddie to move out and that she likes having her around. She said that all her friends are rude to their moms, and it's just her hormones. I do not pretend to understand what this means. She reassured me that everything would be fine and not to worry too much. That night, Maddie came to our room and asked if I'd talk to Jen. Apparently, Jen had apologized to Maddie earlier that evening for her behavior. They made up, and Maddie said she felt bad for bossing Jen around. Maddie told me that she was once Jen's age and understands why Jen doesn't like being told what to do. She even shared stories about how her parents were scared of her when she was 16. Overall, Maddie said she's sure Jen will lose her cool in the future, but she felt better after talking to her and hearing Jen say she appreciates having her around. So, overall, peace is back in our house, for now. I just wanted to thank everyone again for all the insightful comments. My last post really put Maddie in a bad light, but I know her heart was in the right place.